these events, which starts becoming a marketing funnel, right? People start now coming into mentorships. They come to these events to be able to get game. But then most of these events, there's that same thing that you talked about that you don't like, the upsell. See, because I pay attention, right? You had a major problem with people who had live events and then they didn't teach much information, and then they do these upsells for higher mentorships, et cetera, investment opportunities. Well, it seems as if that's what's now happened with you and Caesar.
Now let's analyze Envy's potential.
So that last bit right there, that was Tony the closer. He was doing a live with Envy, and he was just kind of breaking it down. And Envy, like, hey man, you're doing an upsell now. I can say this. When I was in LA before I retired, one of my homeboys, actually my business partner, you know what I mean? And when I say I use the term loosely, we just real tight. And then we'll be passing information back. He'll tell me what he's doing, and then we'll do research on that. Like, yeah, that's good. He went to one of DJ Envy's events in LA. This was, man, a long shit, man. This probably was like 2016, 2017, somewhere in there. You know, I don't know if I might have the dates mixed up, but it was back then, right? And when he went there, he said that everything was free. Because I told him, like, hey, man, normally you go to those events, man, they're going to try to sell you something. He went, and he was like, nah, man, they ain't try to sell me anything. He said that they had people who were talking about credit repair. They were there. He said there was people who were talking about, financing and getting loans. There were people there talking about, like, the paperwork between, like, joint ventures, LLCs, C Corps, and all that kind of stuff, right? So people help you, like, they talk about how to form your corporations or whatever you're going to do. They were all there. They weren't selling anything. And after the seminar, you can go up and talk to them, and they would give you their business cards. You have an accountant, right? You would have a certified financial planner there. You would have different people. And of course, on your own time or whatever, y'all can call and, you can look at their rates. If you want to hire these people for their services, you could do it. But they didn't do it at the venue. You couldn't cut a check, according to what, unless I misunderstood him, like, you couldn't cut a check and buy something, a mentorship, or buy into or whatever. So it looks like that Envy changed. It looks like it changed. Right? Because you saw, that quick clip, how it was like a small room, and then you had another room that was a little bigger, and you had even a bigger room, and you got all these people sitting there listening and paying attention and ready to spend their money. It may be like Tony the closer was saying, it's like, hey man, you should speak on these people, the upsell and all that. You said they was whack, but here you are upselling. And maybe Envy didn't know. There's a possibility that Envy did not know what Caesar Pena was doing. I don't see how that's possible, but so that's it right there, man. I'm gonna stay on top of this, guys. I'm gonna stay on top of this one. It's not looking good for Envy. He tied himself, to a criminal. You can't do that. You tie yourself to a criminal, and you moving out there, and you putting your reputation, your name, and you mixing it in with this criminal. And trust me, they don't care about you, right? They gonna do what they do, and then when the police come, they gonna say you knew about it. There's absolutely no honor amongst thieves. That's a done deal. DJ Envy is going to wind up with a problem here. Maybe he was the patsy. Maybe he was the kingpin, the mastermind. Whichever one it is, he going to wind up having to deal with this. Maybe the prosecution is giving him an opportunity to make people whole. But even if DJ Envy comes out and let's say that it was, I don't know, $6 million of losses out there that the prosecution have, and let's say Envy pays all $6 million to make everyone whole, the crime is still there. Even though people have been made whole, the crimes were committed. And if they can tie him to the crimes and say he was some sort of accomplice or some sort of co-conspirator or something like that, you still gonna have to deal with some sort of conviction, and that conviction is gonna carry some sort of penalty. It's gonna be some kind of jail time, right? And then think about iHeartRadio. How long before they let DJ Envy go? And even if they don't let him go right away, maybe he's coming up on the end of his contract. Are they going to renew his contract? Think of all the people who are paying attention to this. right? I mean, his name is now tied forever to some 2-time felon, right? Because the guy was already locked up once for this type of thing. You know he's getting locked up again. He ain't beating this case. And we're going to talk about that later. We're going to get Lauren on here, and we're going to really delve into the legalities behind it. I sent this information to Myron Gaines for Fatted, and he said he's gonna dig into it. He's like, I'm gonna look into this deeper. I just sent that to him. I think I sent it to him last night, and this morning, well, you know, dude don't go to sleep. So around 4 in the morning, dude he hit me back. He's like, oh man, I'm gonna delve into this. So, and if Myron does, that's gonna be a really good episode, because when he does his Fatted, he goes and gets the actual indictments. He goes and gets all of the paperwork, and he breaks it all the way down, because you know he used to be a federal agent. He used to do this sort of stuff, right? So that's all we got for now, guys. Stay tuned, right? And when we get information, more information comes in, we're gonna let you know. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I would not be surprised at all if DJ Envy gets arrested behind this. I will not be surprised at all. That's the first thing. Second thing, I'm almost certain that iHeartRadio is going to let him go. He's going to lose that Breakfast Club slot. So now Breakfast Club, Angela Yee is already gone. DJ Envy has to have at least one foot out the door. He has to know it. And then you got Charlemagne. So all you're going to have left is Charlemagne and whoever they replace him with. So Breakfast Club is about to get extremely ghetto. Shout out to Charlemagne. But you know you hood, bro. You know you hood. So